Are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, alongside Mitchell Gunner and Byron Bagwell. Great to have you along. Say hello, fellas.
Good evening, infidels.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Tonight's show is sponsored by On My Way. Get paid cash for every mile you and your friends drive without texting or using your phone. You get paid 5 cents cash for every mile you drive and don't text. Check out On the Spot link on our Facebook page. On My Way, the app that saves lives. Let's get the show started, as we always do, with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Let us pray. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once again thank you for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for a wonderful and glorious week. Just thank you for letting us live another day in this great world today, dear Lord. Thank you for everything that you've done for us and that you will continue to do for us. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest nation in the world today, dear Lord, the United States of America. The one, dear Lord, that is the freest. And I tell you, dear Lord, there is no other country like it. Thank you for our armed forces, dear Lord, as they're out there fighting to help keep our rights and our freedoms and our liberties from the domestic terrorism and international terrorism, dear Lord, and just keep a hedge of protection over those young men and women as they're out there fighting for the great cause. Amen. For the ones that served and have served already, dear Lord, our veterans, they were a vital instrument in this too, dear Lord, and you keep a hedge of protection over them. Return those that are out there serving back to their families safely. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day, and it goes into the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to your service. Again, thank you for everything that you do for us. Thank you for this great show that we do, dear Lord. Thank you for letting me be with my brothers here in arms, dear Lord, as we bring this show to our viewing audience and let them determine whatever information that we put out there and let them take it and do what they need to do with it, dear Lord. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them. You're the ultimate healer, dear Lord, and you can touch each and every one of them as they see fit, dear Lord. Anybody that's sick or that's on their deathbed, dear Lord, that you just touch them and their families. As I said, you are the ultimate healer and the ultimate comforter, dear Lord. So thank you for that. Again, thank you for everything that we have done and that you were going to continue to do, and that we do it through your name. And we ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says,
Amen.
Amen. All right, let us stand for our pledge. And I'm going to ask the race car driver himself, Mr. Mitchell Gunner, to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers. To my left, we've got the historian. We've got the political guru, Mr. Byron Bagwell. Over to my right, the guy with the local stuff, the guy that knows all, bees all, it is all, Mr. Mitchell Gunner. Gentlemen, say hello.
Hello. Good evening, infidels.
Back in the back there, we've got our producer, Super Dave Holland, is sitting back there. Say hello, David.
Hello.
And then, hello, David. And then over, of course, to my right, directing the show, wrote the show up tonight, is the Dragon Slayer himself, Mr. Michael Heater. Michael, say hello, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome aboard.
All right, we got a great show for you guys tonight. So I want to welcome in before we get started to White Allen, Raymond No, and Dixie Eddie. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
welcome
welcome in,
everybody.
everybody. Yeah, and everybody else is also tuning in. Like I said, we got a great show tonight. Mitchell Gunners, we're going to be bringing a lot of local news to you. Mr. Byron Bagwell's got several things he wants to talk about tonight. We've got the roundtable recap.
That's right.
Of course, that's where you can pick up the phone at that time and dial 458-7588. You can dial in at that time and you can speak with us, whatever it is that you want to talk about. It could be something that we talked about on the show. It could be anything. This is your show. We are just a rudder that steers this big old vessel. So there we go. Yeah.
Hello, Mom.
There she is. She's on. Miss Shirley Bagwell. Hello, Mom. How are you? So, you got a patriotic quote of the week?
I got a patriotic quote of the week.
Okay.
And it comes from somebody that a lot of people are not going to expect this to come from. As a liberal Democrat, I am appalled at Nancy Pelosi. The idea of her calling for the imprisonment of the President of the United States without him being charged with any crime, without him being charged with any impeachable offense, is just outrageous. She sounds like Stalin.
Whoa. Wow.
Okay, remember the first thing he says as a liberal Democrat.
So he's a Democrat. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember who said that. I just seen that a day or so ago. I can't remember.
I wonder where you saw it from.
Yeah, I think I may have seen it off the page. But anyway,
Right.
no, it was somebody that's serving in the representative or Senate right now.
Nope. Nope. I'll give you this much. He is a professor and a constitutional lawyer.
Mark Levin.
Mark Levin is not a liberal Democrat.
No. So, no. I don't know. You got it, Michael? Anybody? I don't know.
See, this gentleman truly understands what the term liberal means. It's not what we think of now. The guy's name is Alan Dershowitz.
Alan Dershowitz, okay. Lydia Morris, hello. Tammy Testone, ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Hello, Albie! Hey, all right. So, yeah, I was going to say Mark Levin, too, but I forgot that he's not a liberal Democrat.
Right.
So, absolutely not.
Mark Levin is another constitutional lawyer, but he is very much definitely a constitutional conservative.
Right. You're exactly right.
See, it's all convoluted anyway because the meanings of these words have changed over the years. So.
All right, guys. Well, we're ready to have a great show tonight. Hey, don't go anywhere because the 360 starts right now. Welcome back. This is the 360, your news and weather update. It's 360 degrees in 360 seconds. Brought to you by tonight, Southern Gem Photo Booth. Call 904-263-6079 and let Megan not only bring fun to your event, she can make it picture perfect. We start in Baker County tonight, where an estimated 50 gallons of diesel fuel were released from a semi-truck due to a crash on Interstate 10. The Baker County Sheriff's Office reports a ruptured saddle tank on a semi-truck that crashed at mile marker 335 on the westbound lane. Drivers need to be extra careful when driving through that area. And ladies and gentlemen, that is breaking news right here on the spot with David Rodgers. Got that? You're the first to hear it. So if you're on, make sure we may have breaking news all throughout the show. So thank you again for joining in. High Springs police are searching for a man accused of sexually assaulting a woman at the side of the road. Saturday evening, the victim was stopped in the 16,200 block Northwest 222nd Street for a mechanical issue when a man surprised the victim from behind and attacked her. The suspect is described as a white male, medium in size, with dark-colored clothing, gloves, dark shoes, and no facial hair. Anyone with information about this crime can call 352-955-1818. And, of course, as always, You can remain anonymous. Marion County Sheriff's deputies are investigating suspicious death after a man was found dead in the area of Sunset Harbor Road and Highway 441 in Summerfield on Sunday night. Also in Marion County, a young calf was rescued by firefighters after falling into a deep hole at the Leeward Air Ranch in the 7900 block of 7961 Southeast 58th Ave near Ocala. Marion County Fire Rescue's technical rescue team responded last night when the property owner discovered one of his baby cows had fallen to a small but deep sinkhole, landing in water. Rescuers were lowered into the hole and hoisted the 1-month-old calf back up to the surface. The calf was reunited with its mother and appeared to have no injuries. Great work. Gainesville firefighters used the jaws of life this afternoon when two cars collided on Southwest 34th Street and Southwest 20th Avenue, north of Archer Road. One person was rescued and taken to a local hospital with serious injuries. In state news, one person died early this morning in a mobile home fire on Ash Street in the Edgewater area of Volusia County near Daytona Beach. The fire still remains under investigation. 2 FBI special agents were killed this morning, and 2 others were injured in a shootout in Sunrise near Miami while attempting to serve a warrant. The suspect turned the gun on himself after being barricaded for several hours. The warrant was for crimes against children, and multiple agencies were involved. We will have much more on this coming up in the Roundtable Recap later on, and the phone line will be open for your input. Back closer to home, the Union County Dugout Club is hosting a barbecue feast and silent auction to raise money for improving the baseball fields and facilities in Lake Butler. The event will take place this Thursday evening, February 4th at 6:15 p.m. at Bell Oaks Barn on County Road 18, east of Brooker. The cost is $25 per plate or $160 per table that seats 8. For more information, visit the Union County High School baseball page on Facebook. The Florida Department of Transportation and CSX will be doing maintenance at the railroad crossing in Clay County, US 17 south of Hall Park Road and north of Cruise Road in Green Cove Springs, and in Putnam County, US 17 north of County Road 216 in Palatka. The work is expected to take place from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. the rest of this week, and once construction is completed at one crossing, crews will move south to the next crossing and begin work there. The lane closures will be removed early if work is completed ahead of schedule or could be in place longer due to weather or unforeseen circumstances. And finally, Gilchrist County Sheriff's Office is seeking a school crossing guard in the city of Trenton for the remainder of the school year. Passing a physical examination, drug screening, and a criminal background check will be required. Pay is $8.91 an hour with 20 hours biweekly, average of about 360 hours per school year. And now, here is your weather forecast and update.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
Hey, good evening, Dave. Glad to have everyone on board. We're taking a look at the national map. A powerful nor'easter and winter storm continues to impact much of the east and New England with blizzard conditions, including heavy snow and gusty winds from Maggie Valley, North Carolina, stretching all the way up to Montreal, Canada. Now, a frontal boundary over the west coast is bringing some snow to the northern Rockies. That rain and snow will wind down over central California by tomorrow morning, but that is what brings us our next chance of rain this weekend, and that could impact the Super Bowl. Ooh. And check this out. Here is Mount Washington, New Hampshire this morning around 10:30 a.m. It was 15 degrees with a wind speed of 85 miles per hour, gusting to 105. And folks, I got news for you. I will prefer to stay right here in the middle of our Florida cool snap. Let me tell you what. So, taking a look at the local map after a miserable Monday and improving Tuesday, we still have wind chills in the 20s tomorrow morning under clear skies. But don't be surprised because it's not going to warm up very much. Highs tomorrow, again, only in the 50s with lows tomorrow night dropping down near the freezing mark once again. We do get a little bit warmer on Thursday, as you can see, with temperatures in the 60s before the rain hits. So do get out and enjoy it. Oh, and by the way, David, just so you know, there will be 6 more weeks of winter, according to Puxatawny Phil, as he emerged from his burrow this morning and saw his shadow on the snow in Pennsylvania. That is the latest from Austin's Weather Service. It's back to you, David.
Wow, thank you for that great weather update, Michael Heater, sitting in for Austin's Weather Service right here tonight. Again, thank you again for that. All right, a little new thing that we've been doing. Here is your Thursday trivia hint. Want to know why we're doing this? Because Thursday nights at the Downtown Grill, I, myself, your host, and I'll get into that in just a second, will have a little teaser for you. So each Tuesday night, we tease you with the answer to one of the questions from Thursday night team trivia at the Downtown Grill, hosted by yours truly, David Rodgers. The trick is, we don't give you the question. You have to come out for trivia on Thursday night to play, and the top 3 teams win gift certificates from the Downtown Grill. So, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is your clue, and be sure to come out Thursday night at 7 p.m. for team trivia. The answer is, ready for it? 93. 93 is the answer. You're saying 93, David? Well, that could be a little bit of anything. So be prepared for that. 93, write that down. And now here's your favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Vellis, and of course, our great partners at the Bradford County Telegraph, owner John Miller, John Ryan and Elizabeth Tillman, Mark Crawford, editor, and of course, Cliff Smelly with sports and other things. Here's what's the date. These are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph during the first week of February and what year. 7 children die in Union County crash. Offenders barred from living near kids. Charges dropped against dock officers. And many gathered to break ground on a new facility. Was that, gentlemen and people that are watching, February of 2005, February of 2006, or February of 2007? 7 children die in Union County crash. Offenders barred from living near kids. Charges dropped against dock officers. And many gathered to break ground on new facility. Mitchell, was that February of 2005, February of 2006, February of 2007? A little vague, huh? Well, I'm going to give you a little hint. 7 children were killed and 9 others injured when a semi crashed into a car stopped behind a school bus on State Road 121 south of Lake Butler. The 7 deaths were all in the car behind the bus, while the 9 injured were students on the bus. A new law in the city of Star prohibited convicted sexual offenders from establishing residence near locations where children congregate, specifically 2,500 feet from playgrounds, schools, churches, and the like. Two correction employees were reinstated to their positions after charges of attacking a former corrections officer were dropped. The assistant state attorney said while the actions were an embarrassment to the agency, they did not rise to the level of a prosecutable offense. And of course, lastly, ground was broken on the new library located on Pratt Street, with County Chairman John Wayne Hersey calling it a wonderful day in Bradford County. 7 children die in Union County crash. Offenders barred from living near kids. Charges dropped against dock officers. And many gathered to break ground on a new facility. Was that February of 2005, February of 2006, or February of 2007? We'll give you a chance, ladies and gentlemen, to chime in on that, to take your guess, because we're actually starting a new month since this is February the 2nd. So if you win tonight, you'll get put into the pool, and then we will draw your name at the end of the month. And we do have us a winner, don't we, Michael?
Roundtable week.
Yep, that's it. We'll give it at the roundtable recap. So if you want to know if you were the winner of this past month's, hey, what's the date? Well, you have to stay tuned to the roundtable recap, And maybe that particular person may call in and say, hey, thank you for that gift certificate, which is a $25 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill, sponsored by Chrissy and Ricky Thompson, owner of the Downtown Grill. So again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. I want to welcome in my team in the pretty blue tie. Without his man bun tonight, of course, Mr. Byron Bagwell. Say hello, Michael.
Good evening. I'm not Michael.
I know. I was wondering what you was going to say to that. I had you all going with the man bun, and then you was like, good, okay. Mr. Byron Bagwell.
Good evening, everybody.
We have to laugh every once in a while.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Back in the back there producing the show, coming up with the graphics. This is our producer, Dave Holland.
You know I'm never
Say hello,
going with the
David.
man
Oh, I
bun
know
thing
you're
now.
not.
No,
You're
that's
not.
never happening.
How about it, Dave? Say hello to everybody, Dave.
Hello, everybody.
All right, Michael Heater, say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody, again. Welcome to the show.
All right, and to my right, get ready to do his segment, is the man himself, Mr. Mitchell Gunner. Say hello, Mitchell.
Good afternoon, everyone.
All right, so we're waiting on everybody's answer, so I'm going to ask you, was that 2005, 2006, or 2007?
Well, I'm a little bit embarrassed
Okay.
because I actually was on 121 right after that crash happened.
I figured I was going to ask you about that. How far did you miss that?
Probably by about 15 minutes. And
Wow.
I drove up on it.
Wow.
There was so many people there that
It was just,
there was no. I didn't stop because there were so many people there.
right.
I want to say that was 2006.
Okay.
But my memory is not serving me well tonight.
Okay, all right, that's all right. Byron Bagwell says 2006. David?
Man, this is tough.
Yep,
I was here.
yep.
I'm going to say 2005.
Okay, David Holland says 2005. What does Michael Heater say?
I say, keep on going.
All right, then it's back over to you, Mr. Mitchell Gunner.
It's going to be February 2006, and
Okay.
I'm not going to give out the secret yet, the
Okay.
reason why I know that.
All righty,
No, I'm
so
pretty sure I
Mr.
know
Mitchell
what you're-
Gunner.
why you're
All right,
saying that.
Mitchell Gunner, there was a secret there, and I'm not going to reveal it either. I'm going to go with 2006 as well. So David R. Okay. All right. Let's see what's some. Michael, do you have anybody on right now with some guesses?
I got a lot of people with a lot of guesses. I think it's the same one that you've got, but I sure
Okay.
would like to say I would like to give a special shout out to Archie Waters. Good evening, sir, and I am sure that Mr. Man Bun would be happy to acknowledge you as well.
All right. Well, I'm just wondering if we may have a picture of the man bun tonight. I'm not sure. We'll see if it comes. Whoa! There it is right there. Long lost cousin of Byron Bagwell. That, you know what his name is?
No.
You know what his name is? No. I was going to give his name.
What's his name?
Mitchell Bagwell. Mitchell Bagwell.
Long lost brother.
Yeah, there you go.
You're going to get me in trouble. I can already tell you're going to get all of us in trouble tonight because you're going to entice me to say,
I know.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got you.
I think I went to school with a Mitchell Bagwell.
Did you?
So is he really your brother?
No,
No.
I'm an only child. I had some cousins. But
Here we go. Dwight Allen, good evening, brother. Dixie Thompson Eddie's on. Shirley Bagwell's on. Gail Allen's on. Raymond No's on. Lydia Morris is on. Of course, we already got you, Tammy. Good evening. Loves it. Okay, yes, thank you very much. Hey, we love your friends as well. Dwight Allen said, it's really sad how the Department of Homeland Security is pretty much calling conservative Christians who support Donald Trump domestic terrorists, but not Antifa and BLM. And Mr. Bagwell might get into that, or we can get into it at the round table recap as soon as we get to that. Absolutely.
Yep.
Dwight Allen said Levin, and I bet a lot of guesses would have been that, Byron.
If you listen to Alan Dershowitz,
Yeah.
him calling himself a liberal Democrat does not fit. I know why
Right.
he calls himself a liberal Democrat.
Right.
But he is not what these leftists are in the Democrat Party now.
Right.
And that's why everybody gets thrown off. I don't often bring up that side, but this
Right.
gentleman is very intelligent. He just doesn't support policies
Right.
that I support.
Right.
But he is definitely a constitutionalist.
He definitely is. All right, Brett Southwell, who I work with. Brett, hello, man. How are you? You know Brett. Y'all know Brett North Southwell. He does pick'ems with us. Dwight Allen said, oh, Clinton's buddy. Yeah. Sharon Petterford, the
one time.
model. She's on. Is that a contradiction in terms, liberal Democrat? I'll let Byron get into that here in just a little bit. Byron Bagwell's watching. Yeah, he sure is. Right in the right screen over there. Any comments?
That was from your high school days, right?
No. Yeah. Could I get a little drink over there, Dave? I'm getting a little tickle in my throat here.
Yeah, God don't like ugly.
Wow, I'm going to support this. Here we go.
That stuff gives you wings.
This gives you something. It don't get you no sleep. I can tell you that. Poor cow. A lot of sinkholes down there. Yes. Todd Jordan, welcome in. Dorothy Starling, welcome in. Deanne Kirkland Gilbert, welcome in. Austin's on. Mark Duty's on. Chuck Smith's on. I'm looking for some guesses. Michael, you got any?
I got a bunch of guesses.
Excuse me.
Austin's Weather Service, along with Tammy Tetstone, Raymond No, Dorothy Starling, Shirley Bagwell, Lydia Morris, and Mary Southwood, all say
Excuse me.
2006. Where we've got some other folks that have come across with, and of course my phone just reset.
Okay.
Hyper. Yeah. 2005. So, and I think you've got the ones up there with the 2005 as well.
Yep, I do.
We got a bunch of people we need to write down.
Yeah, what do you got? Go ahead and you do it, Byron.
Mark Udy, 2007.
Got him.
Yeah. Roy Jackson, 2007.
Tammy Tetstone, 2006.
Okay.
Raymond No, 2006. Roy Jackson, 2007.
Okay.
Dorothy Starling, 2006.
Okay.
Archie Waters, 2005.
Okay.
Edward Pettiprin, 2007.
Okay.
My mom says 2006.
Okay.
Mary Salvatore says 2006.
Okay.
Sharon Pettiprin says 2005.
Okay.
Austin says 2006.
Okay.
And Bernie Jackson, 2006. Noah Gibson, 2006.
Okay. All right. Noah Gibson. All right. Okay. As we're moving on, Sharon Pettiprin said there is a memorial to those 7 children at Fellowship Baptist Church in Rayford. Yes, there is. Pass it every day, and you're exactly right. Howdy, Michael, Gavin, and Mr. Man Bun.
There you go.
There you go.
Hello,
that's all I got to say. Hello, Archie. Yep. Tammy Testone says, listen to this. Her grandson was on that bus.
Yep.
Wow. That is crazy. Benny Jackson is on. Brandy Gallion Smith is on. Lydia Morris. I was there too, Byron. It was so heartbreaking. Yes, it was. Benny Jackson, hello there. Mr. Man Bun, if you have not seen Ron DeSantis' briefing, you should check it out about him versus Big Tech.
Absolutely excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much stuff going on right now that it is hard to pick and choose what I need to say and what I don't need to say.
Tracy Key O'Neill, glad to join us. Renee Stegall Shaw from my hometown. My dad's an only child too. Good to see there are other folks who know when they have perfection. Well, there you go, Byron. How about that? I think the hardest job is the sign language interpreter for Biden's speech. Oh, boy. Red Bull, yeah, makes you hyper. I'm just going to leave that alone. We're moving on. I got you.
No,
yeah.
there could be one better. We have a new press secretary.
Yeah, I don't know if that's any better, though. Oh, boy, yeah. Noah Gibson.
We'll circle back around to that, right?
Yes, we will.
Okay.
Yeah, we will. Sharon Pettiprin says, I'm going to change my guess, Michael, to 2006. She said, can we do that? Sharon Pettiprin. Okay. All right. Glad y'all can tune in, guys. Hey, got a great show coming up for you tonight. We got Mr. Mitchell Gunner coming up here in just a couple of minutes with our local report. Then we got Mr. Byron Bagwell with our national report and world report. Really, you got a lot of things going on there, Byron. We can talk for days about that. He'll have that coming up, the roundtable recap. Well, you'll find out our winner of What's the Date for last month. And also the phone lines will be open up as well so people can talk with us as well there. So here we go. I hope y'all are in. And the answer, 7 children died in Union County crash. Offenders barred from living near kids. Charges dropped against dock officers. And many gathered to break ground on new facility. Was that February 2005, February of 2006, or February of 2007? And the answer is, wait for it, it's January of 2006. We got a lot of people.
You want to know how I know?
Probably the same reason I know.
Because in 2005 is when we had the plans for the library. Library opened in 2006.
Which was where we went from
What?
last
week.
There you
Exactly. So it all ties in, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to pay attention. Yes, somebody did email me. I don't know if she's on the show tonight, but she said, "Where's the nicknames? I got them for you, real quick. Hey, the destroyers of evil empires, the kings of information, the counts of economic prosperity, the prince of law and order, the masters of protecting the nation and people, the sultans on terrorism, both domestic and international, the new freedom fighters, the new sons of liberty, the defenders of the republic, the show pony express, and the last one, which we all are, the new high priest of the church of the painful truth." There you go, guys. Hey, that's where they are. I hope she was watching tonight. And hey, there's a minion dancing. I knew because of the library. That's what Shirley said as well. So, again, welcome in, guys. Getting ready for Mitchell. You ready about to do your segment here in just a few minutes?
Let's get it going.
All right. I want to thank you all for joining us this Tuesday night. And we'll be right back after this message.
Harry Business, the Deerfoot Village, 301 South in Stark, Florida, home of the $10 haircut. Take the time to visit Dave Holland and his crew to get the best perms, colors, flat tops, and the haircut that suits you best. Give them a call, 904-964-3338, or stop by and visit them Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Again, $10 haircuts, men, women, and children. Harry Business, Deerfoot Plaza in Stark, Florida. And now, here is The Chat. Community happenings and topics with our own local voice on current events, Mr. Mitchell Gunter.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to kick off our local report. The Bradford County Commissioners vote 4-1 to award a contract to Shear Construction for the renovation and additions to Hilburn Springs Fire Station out on State Road 16. Work in the city of Stark will continue for SR 100 overpass. Ramps and roundabouts are moving in the right direction. And, most of those areas have already been paved. So they're moving right along. Also, to remind you about the construction that's going on Alligator Creek Bridge. That is continuing, and northbound work will begin within the next few weeks. Stark Commissioners meeting started at 5:30. Next meeting will be February the 16th. And also, while we're talking about that, our Bradford County Commissioner meeting will take place on Thursday, February the 18th at 6 p.m. One of the issues that they will be talking about is the county manager position. The county manager position has been being filled with Will Sexton since January the 4th, as Ms. Roden resigned to go work in another department. I think it's very important that we move on as well and try to pick a county county manager for that position. Also, North Florida Regional Chamber of Commerce banquet that was scheduled for February the 6th has been canceled due to COVID. This is because that the event was going to be held inside of a building. The Bradford County Fair will kick off on March the 1st through March the 14th. Rural County Days will be set for March the 11th, and the 28th Annual Strawberry Festival will start on March the 27th through the 28th. So I wanted to go ahead and get into some COVID numbers while we're here. The state cases are at 1,832,981. Deaths at 27,269. Totally vaccinated for the state of Florida, we're at 372,207. New cases today, 10,533. New deaths today, 140. First time vaccinated today, 46,260. Pediatric cases for the state of Florida is at 186,487, with still only at 9 deaths. Cases with our school system, K through 12 throughout the state of Florida, we have seen 59 1,917 cases. Alachua County, they are at 21,203 with 125 new cases, a total of 182 deaths and 9 more deaths this week. Baker County is at 3,088 with 24 new cases today with a total of 51 deaths and 4 new deaths this week. Bradford County, we're at 2,697 with 6 new cases today, a total of 44 deaths and 7 this week. Clay County, we are at 15,792 with 122 new cases today with a total of 245 deaths and 4 this week. Columbia County, we are looking at 7,377 with 33 new cases today, a total of 143 deaths with 5 this week. Also, I wanted to mention, since we're talking about COVID, Bradford County lost a really great guy, Randy Jones, to this COVID pandemic. He was very active in our school system. He served as a Bradford County School Board member and also a member of the Educational Foundation. And I tell you, he's going to be really missed, and we're going to have to try to do what we can to keep his family in our thoughts and prayers as they go through this hard time. So that is the chat, your community happenings and topics. I'm Mitchell Gunter, and we'll be right back after this
Saban
message.
is the leading firm in Florida with 8 offices from the Panhandle to the Florida Keys to handle your claims for personal injury, workplace violations, and PIP claims for medical professionals. Visit us online at www.piplaw.com or call 24 hours a day at 877-511-7829. Schuster and Saban Law Offices for all your legal needs.
And now, with the latest national and international update, here is Your World Report with Byron Bagwell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to start off tonight with a little bit of History 101. It's very important for us to understand our history, and I wanted these gentlemen involved with it because I know that some of the things that I'm going to say, a lot of people don't know. Like, for instance, did everybody know that the document that we all know and all love and celebrate on the 4th of July isn't the actual original Declaration of Independence? There is a version of the Declaration of Independence that was submitted, and there were things taken out of it. I'm going to go over a few of those things tonight, and I wanted to tie this into some recent events. Like, for instance, I know you've seen this book on the show before. It is a collective writings of Thomas Jefferson. And one of those things in the collective writings from Thomas Jefferson is his autobiography. Basically, an autobiography is a self-written document about a person's life. I wanted to go over a few things in this. Like, for example, Mr. Jefferson was in the Virginia, basically, Congress at one point in time. And this was long before we actually had a government of the United States. This was a representation of the Virginia colony to Great Britain. And he actually wrote in 1769 a bill that he introduced to actually allow Virginians to free their slaves. Of course, it was summarily dismissed by the British, basically, government, the monarch, the king. Later on, when he was asked to write the Declaration of Independence, he submitted a version that has something in it that I want everybody to hear and understand. This 4th of July, I think I'm going to do the reading of the Declaration of Independence a little bit different, and probably will do it from now on, because it's really important for everybody to truly understand the meaning behind what some of our founding fathers thought. And they had a thought process that was considered liberal at that point in time. For instance, you start talking about natural law. It basically means, and there's all sort of philosophy written about it. It basically means that every human being in their natural state leans toward freedom. Okay? This particular section that I'm going to read out of the original Declaration of Independence is actually taken from the grievance. It was taken out from the grievances they had against George III. He has waged cruel war against human nature itself, violating its most sacred rights of life and liberty in the persons of a distant people who never offended him, captivating and carrying them into slavery on another hemisphere, or to incur miserable death in their transport hither. This political warfare, the opprobrium of infidel powers, is the warfare of the Christian king of Great Britain, determined to keep open a market where men should be bought and sold. He was prostituted in his negative for suppressing every legislative attempt to prohibit or restrain this execrable commerce, and that this assembly of horrors might want no fact of distinguished dye. He is now expecting those very people to rise up in arms amongst us and to purchase their liberty, of which he has deprived them by murdering the people on whom he has obtruded them, thus paying off former crimes committed against the liberties of one people with crimes which he urges them to commit against the lives of another. Now, that is written in a very educated manner. But what it says is, it says that one of the crimes that the founders found against King George was slavery. Mm-hmm. I wanted to tie this into something that has happened here recently with our wonderful monarch-in-chief that's sitting in the White House, because he's acting like King George now. He has written a executive order which has removed the 1776 Commission, which was meant to expose things like what I just read directly from an autobiography from one of our founders. What it does is it implements the 1619 project back into places like our schools. And I don't ever call this by the right name. It's really the right name. It's called radical race theory. What they're going to implement in the government jobs and how they're going to teach people how this country is systemically racist. This country is not systemically racist. That section that was supposed to be in our Declaration of Independence, but was not, because there were too many of our founders that were afraid that there would not be unity of the 13 states, or 13 colonies at the time, if that was sort of thing was left in there. Because there were some people in this country who profited off of and actually held slaves. You know, say, but Thomas Jefferson owned slaves. Yes, Thomas Jefferson owned slaves, but Thomas Jefferson wanted to free his slaves. He thought it was an abhorrent act to hold other men. It was a violation of natural law and personal liberty. He was not allowed to do this because of the laws of the land at the time. So, I want everybody to understand something. 1776 was the founding of this country. I'm going to sit here on live Facebook, and I'm going to say that I am not afraid of being censured over this because I understand two things. Number one, the United States was a colony of Great Britain, France, and Spain, the Americas. Those were the powers that actually held colonies here. In 1619, the Declaration of Independence gave us our freedom from those powers in Europe. I want everybody to think about that because you cannot start a country in 1619, but you can start its founding. No, you can't. Not with men writing words like what Thomas Jefferson actually wrote in the real Declaration of Independence. There is so much out there, ladies and gentlemen, that is being foisted on the American people. There is so much out there that you can read and pick up. All of his writings are not like what he did in the Declaration of Independence. His autobiography is masterful. It tells about a lot of different things, like the fact that as a matter of fact, Thomas Jefferson was not even in the United States when we founded our new government. He was in France. And in the autobiography, he describes in pretty deep details what happened during the French Revolution, because he was actually there. When he come back to the United States, because President George Washington requested him to be the Secretary of State, he come back to find some pretty disturbing things. We'll draw the parallel to this too. Because what he did was he came back and found people like Alexander Hamilton espousing something called monarchism. What monarchism is the love of basically a monarchy, and he wanted the United States to be more like the system of government that Europe has, with a king, and then a House of Commons and a House of Lords. So I sit back and I think about all of this, and I look at today. And gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong on this. And this is part of the reason why I wanted both of you here. I wanted your opinion on this. When a president of the United States, and he's come out and made some absurd statement today that he's not writing law from the office, he's just correcting this and correcting that, and I'm sitting here going, get out of here. When a president of the United States sits and changes our laws 40 times with executive orders, most presidents in 8 years don't write 40 executive orders.
Right.
Is he not legislating from the executive office?
From the executive seat, yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, I want people's opinions on this because I sit back and I read stuff and I look at it from a historical standpoint and I see patterns that repeat themselves. And I wonder that if some of the things the way that I think about what's going on with a certain party in our country hasn't been there since then.
Right.
Because they weren't called the Democrat Party back then. They were called the Federalists. Mm-hmm. The party of Jefferson was actually called the Democratic Republican Party. George Washington didn't support that. Thomas Jefferson would never support that. Benjamin Franklin never supported that. There were some of our founding fathers who did. That's why they designed our federal system to where there is a separation of powers. When you look at what a president is supposed to do, one of those things is not legislate.
Right.
That is up to the Congress and the Senate to do.
That's right.
That is where law is passed. Now, you can say, well, he's changing policies. Well, okay, he's changing policies. But when you say that you're removing, say, the license for the land for the XL pipeline, the United States already has contracts with people and companies to run that pipeline.
Yes.
And that has to be changed by law. That's you can't you can't do that by executive fiat. You can't do it. And I'm wondering what you guys think is the solution for this.
Well, for one thing, I think they should have continued the pipeline because it's not within law. And I would tell him to go booger off.
Oh, we're gonna take the John Hancock, right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's my thoughts on it too. David, what you think?
I think the same way. As far as the presidency, when our founding fathers, and I want to read Donald Stevens' thing real quick. We traded one dictator 3,000 miles away for hundreds of dictators here. We can get into that in just a second. But he did say something here. Our founding forefathers were geniuses. And there was no doubt about that. And when they created the separation of powers, talking about the legislative doing what they're supposed to do, making laws, doing their part, the president is what? The executive, right?
Yes.
He's the executor.
He is the person that it basically enforces the law.
Right.
And he's the head of the country. He's a figurehead of the country.
Right.
He's never supposed to be as powerful.
And that's my thing there. To me, he's trying to do, and even toward the other side a little bit, to the judiciary side, he's trying to do all three jobs. And you see where I'm going with that, and that's not right, according to, or at least our documents.
Well, and here's the thing about this, and both of y'all are right. Here's the thing that bothers me the most about this is exactly what Donald Stevens said. I wouldn't say thousands of dictators here. I would say that we now have a president in office that's acting like George III.
Right.
And people could say that we're sitting back and we're all Donald Trump this and Donald Trump that. I got some news for everybody out there. Donald Trump was a good president. But a president serves 1 or 2 terms. That's either 4 or 8 years.
Right.
My allegiance is to this document.
Yeah.
And the thought that was put into it and the philosophy of the men that wrote it.
Well, I don't know how many times you sat right here, and I've even heard Mitchell say it. Maybe Michael has said it too. Yes, we're registered Republicans under the Republican Party, but when it comes to the actual beliefs and what we believe in, I think we've called ourselves constitutionalists many times, right?
Because that is your roadmap.
This is the roadmap to stay free, and that's exactly right.
The correct term is actually constitutional moderate.
Right.
Because really what a constitutionalist is a person that backs this in the true forms of government. It is center right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It is not right wing.
Nope.
It is not centrist. It's center right. And the reason that it's center right is because we believe that this document constrains the powers of government. It tells the government what it can't do.
It keeps it from overreaching.
That's exactly right. And what's happening now is a total and complete overreach of our government. We're sitting here watching it live. They've destroyed how many thousands of jobs already. They're telling basically a president who is not a president, is sitting president anymore, that we're going to impeach you.
Which is illegal.
It's unconstitutional, which makes it illegal. Yep. You have this one branch of our government that the Chief Justice of said, I'm not having anything to do with this dog and pony show. I will not have my name anywhere tied to that. You're acting like a banana republic. Right. You have 45 members of one party that has said, this is unconstitutional, we're not doing this. Which basically means that the impeachment is null and void to start with. They're wasting our tax dollars because they want political power. Political power and greed are at the bottom of all of this. We have to roll in our government. We still have a voice. You call your state's legislatures and you tell them that you've had enough of this. The states have the power to stop this, still, believe it or not. I'm beginning to believe it's time to call a constitutional convention to rein this in. And that's not a constitutional convention, but a convention of the states to rein this in. Now, there's a whole bunch of shenanigans that can go on, and a lot of people will say that they're really worried about that. But the ones that really, really matter will run that type of mess out. There's enough people and power in the red states to stop this.
Hey, Byron, I've got a little something right here. I want to read this to you, and you tell me what you think. It's a really great point. By the way, Bird Eddie McGee, welcome in from, is that Kentucky Lake, by the way? In Tennessee?
It's Kentucky Lake in Tennessee, and it's a heck of a lake to fish.
Yeah, fish. Yeah, he needs to invite us to go fishing there. Let me see. Lydia Moore says, speak the truth. Yeah, speak the truth, Byron. The world has been so brainwashed. You're talking true facts. It's supposed to be a separation, but not today. That's Donald. But listen to what Cassidy Udi wrote. Jefferson wrote a lot about slavery to have started raping a 14-year-old who he had a small room for in his home, fathering at least 6 kids with her. He wrote a lot about freedom to have enslaved over 600 people in his life, only freeing 2 in his whole life, despite eventually having the ability to, let's not whitewash it. He spoke out of the side of his mouth like any politician. He just legally raped women while he did. What do you say about that?
Well, first off,
she's got a right to her own opinion.
Well, I mean, you have a right to your own opinion, and you have a right to view history as you please to view history if you want to, but it's not the right way to view history. You have to view history through the lens of history. Because when you start judging what people did back then with the set of moral values that we have now, there's not going to be a person that is worth a darn anywhere. My grandmother and my great-grandmother and my great-grandfather were married at 13 and 14 years old.
Yeah.
They'd have put their parents in prison now.
Sure.
And I'm not excusing any of those actions. But what I'm saying is the thoughts that he put in his documents about being free and freeing slaves and men having rights are what is right about what our founding is. You can say what you want to about 1619. That's absurd. You will find no budge in me with 1619.
Right.
That it's utterly absurd. We were a colony of 3 different countries at that point. That's absurd.
That is true. Yeah.
So, Cassie, I'm not. I don't know what to say. They used to teach us in school to look at history through the lens of history.
Right.
Now it's we have to judge them by the moral characters that we live now. I don't know what else to say about that. Okay, you want to talk about the fact that he had a room where he did all of that with a 14-year-old slave. Do you know if he actually loved the girl? His wife was dead at that point in time. Did he love the girl?
Right.
Which was accepted back then.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
My thoughts on that were probably so. So I don't know what to say other than that.
Right.
History is viewed through the lens of history. It's not judged by the character that we have now. I mean, some of the practices that men had and men and women had back in that time period were just draconian.
Right.
I mean, and it wasn't just Jefferson; it was everybody.
You got to remember when all this happened. We're talking 240 plus years now, or more now. 300 years. Yeah. Or close to it.
And like I said,
and time has passed, and what happens with time? Change comes.
No. Well, change comes too.
Yeah.
But really, who are we to judge these men on the actions that were acceptable?
Right.
240 or 250 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a look at what happened at the end of the Civil War.
Right.
President Lincoln wanted to send all of the ex-slaves back to Africa.
Right.
That's an historical fact. You know who stopped him from doing it? Frederick Douglass stopped him from doing that. He went to Lincoln and he said, "No, I want to stay here. This is the greatest country in the world. I have more freedoms than anywhere I will ever go. I want to remain in the United States. It is my home. So there is some historical perspective that we have to all of this, and it has to be taught in a manner of which you can't think about the morality today in the same way you think the morality is back then.
And that's what I was saying about time changing, and when time rolls, things change, and we evolve with whatever that time period is. Like you said, if you were to marry a 13-year-old girl today, what'd you say? You would be frowned upon. You would be in jail. You're talking about somebody's parent wanting to put you under the jail.
Well, no, like I was saying about my grandparents, if both their moms and dads would have allowed them to be married and have kids when they had kids, they would be put in jail.
Well,
now.
right, yes.
So you have to look at history through what history is.
Right.
History is history.
Right.
Now, are they perfect people? No, there's no such thing. There was only one perfect person.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, you have to look at it through that perspective.
Donald Stevens says our oath is to the Constitution, not the government, for a reason.
That is exactly right.
Donald, you're exactly right.
That's exactly right.
Dwight Allen says Biden is mentally incompetent and is signing anything put in front of him.
Who know what now?
Dwight Allen said Biden is mentally incompetent and is signing anything put in front of him.
There's video proof of that.
Yes, there is. Yeah. Hello, Will Smith. How are you? Archie Waters says, well, he has handwriting down next. He is going to learn shapes and colors.
Look, after 4 years of the president is a Russian asset. The president is a racist, lying, sexist, bigot. How do you expect the other side to act when you have a president in there that's acting the way that Joe Biden is acting? I mean, they had to expect this was coming.
Right.
And you actually say you're the party of diversity, but you put an old rich white man in office who has a history of saying things like, I don't want my children growing up in a racial jungle.
He was being a bigot.
Well, he was. There are all sort of episodes and reports of him saying the N-word on the floor of the floor of the Senate. I sit back and look at this, and it's hypocrisy. It's just hypocrisy.
Yeah, but if I may, I think that we all know, and most people would never admit it, but we all know that he is in there for one reason, and that is to be the figurehead being controlled. You have called it from day one what he is.
He's somebody's robot.
And I can tell you, and I will tell you this, just a little food for thought, because I have been looking. And since the election, there has not been a single tweet. There has not been a single mention. There has not been one single breath of any of the former president prior to President Trump anywhere. And that is because I am confident that he is the one who's calling the shots and working the marionette strings.
You're talking
on behalf of Kamala Harris.
You're talking about Barack Obama, and you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
And you want to know how you can tell that? Because what's going on is we're going to take away Donald Trump's horrible caging of children when they come over the border. Sorry, guys. That was Barack Obama and Joe Biden's policy. They're the ones that wrote it, and they're the ones that implemented it. And they're the ones that built the cages, too, by the way.
Cassidy Udi is coming back. And Cassidy, by the way, I love you on the show.
Please.
Hey, it's great to have different opinions and different views of things. Please continue to come on our show. If you have anybody that wants to watch our show, please, I invite you to bring them on. So I hope I didn't lose that. So Cassidy said, those are facts. not opinions. He judged slavery as wrong. He wrote against it. Those were the moral values you claimed he had, yet he did those things. So he knew it was wrong. He wrote against it, but he did it.
Okay.
So
He's a product of his time period.
right.
There's nothing else I can say about that. He is a product of his time period. He believed in those things. He forwarded those things. He started a nation, helped start a nation by founding with those things. You can't always live up to everything that you preach. And I know you can't. You say you can, but when you have things like slavery, which has been implemented since the dawn of time into a society, you can't. That's not going to disappear because a man's thoughts that they should be free, and the laws are not necessarily going to dictate that he's going to be able to do that.
Right. And in that time, it was acceptable and normal, Donald Stevens said.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Slavery has been acceptable and normal since the dawn of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep on telling people this. Not only black people were slaves.
Right.
And I get looked at like I'm crazy.
No, that's
But
exactly
all
true.
you got to do to understand that is read the Old Testament in the Bible, and you will find out that the Jewish people were held in slavery.
Slaves.
So I don't know what else to say about that except he was a product of his time.
There's slavery that's going on right now in the United States.
Well, there's slavery that's going on inside of Africa right now. Black men enslaving other black men too. But
Right.
you don't ever hear anything about that because it's not politically correct. So,
And you know why? And you know what else? It's not happening in this country. That's why.
But there is slavery happening in this country.
Yes, but not like what Byron just said. It is, but not. It's not the forefront of topic,
Right.
and that's the difference. She said, Byron, she couldn't legally say no. He owned her.
how do you know that? How do you know that if that girl would have said no, that he would not have done that? Are there
Right.
writings anywhere from anybody that was around when that happened to prove that? How do you know that?
So she said, was he for it or against it?
Slavery?
Yes.
He thought it was abhorrent. Yes, he was against slavery.
Right. Because she says, I thought we were judging him on what he advocated for and against.
I just read the
You read it. Yeah,
the missing
that's
part of the
the
Declaration of Independence and the fact that he was writing
Yeah.
law before there was a United States trying to free slaves.
So Renee Stegall Shaw, my old classmate, said, but she told him she wouldn't go to France with him if the situation stayed the same. In France, they were recognized as a couple. She insisted on it, and he complied. Wow, Renee, good job. Did you know that? Just like our Constitution only applies to a moral government.
Oh my goodness, we're going to quote Adams now. Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah, you quoted Adams.
It's not only a moral government, a moral people. The quote actually says it's only good for a moral people.
Right. Hey, I'll tell you what, Byron, there's been some great comments right here. We'll get to these and some more as we go to the round table. So, Byron, you want to finish it up by saying anything? And then we're going to move on to the round table. We're going to try to take some phone calls.
Liberty is the foundation of this country. Personal liberty. Our government has overstepped its bounds. We are not serfs. And I know people have seen that post from me. And it's absolutely right. We are not servants. We are not serfs. We are supposed to be the people that control and run our government. And it's time that the American people spoke up. You have the capability to pick up a phone and call your state legislatures.
Yeah.
You have the ability to pick up a phone and call the Congress and tell these people that they have overstepped their bounds. In some places, like in Congress, it's time to tell them that they're actually being trampled on by the executive and that they need to exercise their power by putting a stop to what Joe Biden is doing. I know it's not going to happen because it's still the majority is still Democrats. But this has to stop. They are setting precedent after precedent after precedent that is not going to be good for our country and, quite frankly, is flatly unconstitutional.
All right.
And that is your World News Report for this Tuesday night. I am Mr. Byron Bagwell. I hope everybody has a good evening. The team will be right back after this message.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Roundtable Recap. My name is David Rodgers. You just heard a couple of great segments on the Spot with David Rodgers show. Mitchell Gunner bringing you a lot of local information, a lot of things going on in the community. Mitchell, that's for sure. Byron, what a great topic you brought to the table tonight, talking a little bit about Thomas Jefferson and how you were talking about that missing part of the Declaration of Independence and how that is all tying into today's government and what we're seeing right now at the head position, if you want to call it, of the United States of America.
Yeah, well, I mean, you people look at this and they're scared half to death.
Right.
I mean, the 40 executive orders and they're destroying the economy, destroying our energy independence, and basically destroying our liberty.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The phone line's now open, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Roundtable Recap. You can call and talk about anything that you want. That number is 904-458-7588. Again, 904-458-7588. If the line is busy, you can leave a message, and we will read your message on the air. You can also try to call back if you wish. Now, let me get into the two FBI agents just for a second. So the two FBI agents are deceased, and two wounded agents were transported to hospital in stable condition. A third agent did not require hospitalization. Sure. Suspect dead from self-inflicted gunshot wound. At the time of the shooting, the agents were carrying out a search warrant in the area to seize evidence in connection with suspected possession of child pornography. Byron, we hear, and Mitchell, we hear about this all the time. All the time.
I mean, even right here in our own community, just a couple of weeks ago, we had a gentleman that tried to snatch a couple of kids.
Yeah.
And then we had another one that was arrested. It's an ongoing thing in our neighborhood and surrounding areas. It's a very, very sad situation.
Yes, it is. So, again, phone lines are open. You can call in to On the Spot with David Rodgers. The number is, you can see it in the left-hand corner of your screen, 904-458-7588. Phone lines are wide open. We're going to tell you who won that gift certificate for $25 at the Downtown Grill. And again, we had a lot of entries tonight on What's the Date. That's going to be moving on toward the end of the month. And they're going to get a chance to win a $25 gift card as well. By the way, I have Raymond Knowles and Shirley Bagwell's gift card right in my bag. Remind me to grab those and get those to those fine people.
Are you sure they don't want to donate them back so we can go have some dinner?
Well, I tell you what, let's ask Mom that. Mom will probably donate. Raymond probably would too.
Oh.
I know, but we better give them their gift certificate.
Yeah, they need it.
So, what do we have, Mike?
Ready?
Yeah.
The winner is?
The winner is. January's winner is Lydia Morris. Congratulations, Lydia. You are a winner of the $25 gift certificate. She had 4 entries, ladies and gentlemen.
Tied with Dwight Allen.
Okay, tied with Dwight Allen.
And they had the most.
Okay.
We had a whole bunch of people that had 3. A lot of people, we had over 40 entries, believe it or not.
40 entries.
Yeah, different people that guessed throughout that. And Lydia's name was drawn, and she won the $25 gift certificate.
Lydia Morris, are you still on? I tell you what, love to hear from you. Anybody that wants to call in to talk about anything. If you want to talk about Byron Bagwell's man bun, if you want to talk about Mitchell Gunner's boxers, whatever it is that you want to talk about, you can call that number, Byron, 904-458-7588. Hey, and like I said, talk about anything. Phone lines are wide open. We're waiting for you.
Please, no man bun.
Oh, well, now,
You know I
wait
just
a minute.
invited it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just invited it, so that's for sure. Did we get Lydia on? Look at Lydia. What did she say?
She's down here.
She's
but
down
she
there.
hasn't said anything about.
She hasn't said anything about her winning that gift certificate?
Oh, yay. Thank you, guys.
Hey, there's Lydia. There you go. Lydia, you had 4 entries. You must be pretty good at what's the date. Hey, nothing wrong with that, right?
That's right.
Hey, that's what. Oh boy, here we go. What do we got now, Byron?
Mother, you're encouraging him. Stop.
Of course, we would donate it for you to eat.
I tell you what, while we're sitting here at
Yeah.
the round table,
Yeah.
I wanted to get y'all's impression
Okay.
on that about our county manager.
Yeah.
And, it got voted down 3-2, not to
Right.
vote for it at this time, and they wanted to push it back into April the 6th.
Right.
What is your feeling? Do you think that the county managers should try to go on and move and try to put the position out there to hire someone? Instead of us keep on waiting and putting that weight on the shoulders of Will Sexton, which is also our county attorney.
County attorney, yeah, that's
So
a good
he's having to do 2 jobs
Yeah, he is.
at one time. And to me, that's a lot of
I think we ought to put it
responsibility
out
on
there,
one
don't you?
person.
What do you think? I think we ought to put it
I
out
think
there.
it should be put out there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
As a
let's
matter
put
of
it out
fact,
there.
I'm going on February the 18th to the county commissioner meeting.
Okay.
And I want to urge the other commissioners to go along with the other 2 to go ahead and vote to run that position. And let's throw the line out there and let's see what kind of response that we get back for our county. We want someone that's going to be very responsible. We want
Right.
someone who's going to be well diverse and knows different departments.
Right,
They don't have to
right.
know 100%
No,
of every
no.
department, but we want them to have a broad knowledge
Yeah.
of each department and how each department is ran,
Yeah.
so it can, all those departments can operate the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, I know a good person that'd be great for that job. I do. Would you
me.
like?
You stepped right into that.
Yes,
one.
you did, Mitchell. Dorothy Sarley says, "Gentlemen, thank you for your input on our history tonight." How about that? Great. Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Dave, don't drink that.
History is up for
I'm
people's
good.
interpretation, but
Yes.
there's certain ways you should interpret history, and you cannot judge the people from the past by our
No.
certain stuff. You just can't do it.
No.
And the books are out there. I mean, Jefferson's autobiography is great. I mean, there's biographies of all of our founding fathers. There's biographies of Lincoln. I mean, you can find them for most of the presidents. You can go into history books and find all sort of information.
And by the
Go
way,
back and actually understand the philosophies from the Enlightenment period,
Right.
that drove our founding fathers' thinking. That's where it becomes interesting, and you start forming your opinions. Should start informing your opinions by authors or by philosophers like John Locke.
Hey, Archie Waters says OTS is the best show he has ever heard, he said. How about that? Well,
Thanks,
we thank
Archie.
you. Thank you, Archie,
Thank
very
you.
much. I want to also thank Cassidy Udi for
Yeah,
coming
thank
on.
you, Cassidy.
Cassidy, that is great. I'm going to tell you what. You're talking about opinions. That is awesome. She went, she sees it a little different. That's all. Hey, we're glad of that. We love for that. We love for you to come on and say those things. That's what this show's all about. You can express your opinion, and guess what, Byron? Nobody's going to get this. Nobody's going to get browbeat. Nobody's going to get anything. You know why? Because we can see it. Yeah, open invite anytime. That's exactly right.
Here's the thing: what we just did.
Thank you, Cassie,
What
for
we
coming
just did was called debate.
Exactly.
Okay. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to exchange
Mm-hmm.
ideas, and we're supposed to, and argues not the word that needs to be used,
No.
but it's what it used to be used.
Right.
You used to be able to argue your points with people and try to make other people see it and understand
Right.
it. This country is so polarized. To sit down and actually have an intelligent argument with somebody about their points of view, you can't do anymore. And it's sad.
You know, if Cassidy Udi was to invite us all, and I bet she's a good cook, hey, I'll go break bread with her, guess what? We on our way, ain't we?
Sure.
We're on our way. I can tell you.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
come to the Downtown Grill Thursday night, and we'll meet you up there, and we'll eat dinner up there with you while we're playing trivia.
Byron, why don't you read that from Cassidy?
I understand your passion. That's great. She is pre-law. She loves it. Thank you, Cassie.
Yes.
Thank you.
My goodness, man. That's
People tell me I need to become a lawyer, but I'm sorry.
Hey, what did you say about
I
that?
don't want to spend 8 years, another 8
No,
years.
he wants to be a lawyer. He just doesn't have the hair for it.
Oh, I have the hair for it.
Yes, you do.
I have the hair.
What'd you
for
tell
it.
Cassidy about coming up to the grill? What'd you tell? Come on up.
You could
My
call it
God,
man
play
bun,
the
man
trivia
bun.
with
Jeff
us.
used to come up there all the
Yes.
time. Come up there with Jeff. You and Mark, come on.
Yeah, come on, man.
You're more
Goodness,
than
yeah.
welcome. I
Jeff
mean,
was
I'm
just
not-
there last week.
You know what you call your law office?
No.
Man bun and man bun, PA.
Oh!
Thank you, Mitchell Gunner.
Mitchell,
You're
Mark-
giving them more ammunition. Thank you.
Mark Udi brings up a very good question.
Uh-huh.
Mark is asking, what are the qualifications to be a county manager, and are they appointed by the commission?
Well, see, what they have done in the past
question.
is something that we have not should have done. I think they need to open up that position and let a lot of people apply. Now, my interpretation of a county manager, it is his or her responsibility to oversee the other departments and make sure they run on order daily operations. It should not be the county commissioners calling into a department head to have something done. That stuff should always go through the county manager. Now, if something like that needs to happen, that
Yep.
person on the board would have the ability to say, hey, so-and-so's having problems on Southeast 180th Street, and we need to get that road fixed. And that gives time for the county manager and Mr. Dodds to sit down and see how they're going to fix that. Not
Right.
for the commissioner to go out and say, hey, I want you to go fix that road right now.
Right.
The county manager's responsibility is also to oversee the budgets, what's going on for each department, and also his responsibility or her responsibility to make sure budget constraints are put in every single year, 5 to 10 years out, so you know what's going to need to be replaced and each one of those departments, and make sure that you have the money that is there for that particular use. And I think it's very important to go ahead and move on that way. Because Mark Sexton, he's a pretty busy guy. He's an attorney for the county. He's an attorney for the school system. He's an attorney for I believe the city of Hampton.
Right.
And now you put him in this other role.
All right, hey, Mitchell, I'll tell you what I want to do. Phone lines are wide open. We ain't had a single phone call tonight. 904-458-7558. And I'll tell you what, hey, first caller, I'm going to do it again. $10 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill. Sharon Petterprin was the winner last week. First one to call in. $10 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill. While we're waiting on a call, Tracy Key O'Neill. Byron can be right or wrong or right. But at the same time, he made a bunch of people maybe open their eyes and take more interest in what's going on around us.
It's one of the greatest compliments I've ever had. Thank you so much.
Tracy
And
Key
I
O'Neill,
truly
we
mean
appreciate that. Absolutely.
To just fill in also with Mark Udi, what he's talking about, I think that position also, you should have a bachelor's degree or a master's in business.
Well, I'll be dadgum. Who do we have on with us?
Archie Waters.
Archie Waters. Well,
Good
guess
evening,
what?
Archie.
Good evening, Archie. Well, guess what? You're the winner of the $10 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill. We'll make sure we get that to you. How you doing tonight, Archie?
Doing good. Just listening to y'all. Y'all sound good.
We appreciate it. How you like the graphics? How you like everything that's going on with the show, Archie?
Hey, it's great.
Good deal. Anything you want to specifically ask anybody?
Well, are y'all going to do the fair this year?
Here we go.
Here we go. As far as we know, we are going to do the fair. May have a couple of shows from there, right? Yeah, because Tuesday and Saturday we'll probably do both of those shows there, right? Archie, the plan is for us to do the fair Tuesday night and Saturday night right now.
And I tell you, it's going to get here before we know it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. So,
Oh yeah.
What else you got, Archie?
Show, if they had the dunk booth, put Byron in it. Oh yeah, there'll be a lot of people trying to hit him.
So if they have a dunk booth, you want us to put Byron in it, and you want him to have his hair in a man bun.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go, Byron. There's your call out.
Okay. Hold on.
All right. We got you.
I'm not putting my hair in a man bun. I'll find a man bun wig somewhere.
Okay, you want to do that?
I want the plausible deniability to say I've never had a man bun. First off.
Whoa, wait a minute. Look who's in the corner again.
Okay. Second off. If I'm going to do this,
yeah,
it is going to benefit a non-for-profit organization.
That's right.
And we'll figure out how much it's going to cost you to throw a ball at the dunk booth and which one it is at a later.
Well, I'll tell you what, Byron, you've come to the right guys, because us guys right here, we're accountants, so we know what we can get per softball or
$5 a softball, and it all goes to something like Wounded Warriors or
something like that. Now let me ask you something.
Tunnel to Towers, or there's a local one that's in Keystone that I can never remember the name of.
We can do that.
That would be a good one to do that with.
All right.
Too.
Would you, for $5 a ball, would you put your head in a man bun?
I would put a man bun wig on.
A man bun wig?
Yes.
Boo! 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 Boo!
I got too much hair to put it up in a man bun.
All right, Archie, what else you got, brother? Anything else?
Oh no, just scooting along. I'm at the house. I still don't have a car. I'm scooting around on my scooter around town, but everything's good.
Good.
All right, Archie. Well, glad to hear, brother. Glad you called in. You got a $10 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill. We will make sure we get that to you, Archie. You have a great night, and keep listening to On the Spot with David Rodgers. Thank you for your call.
Good night, Archie.
Oh yes, y'all have a good one.
You too. You too. Well, that was Archie Waters, ladies and gentlemen, calling in. Let's see if we can have another caller before we go off the air tonight. Love to hear from you guys. If you want to talk about anything, if you want to talk about Mitchell Gunner's boxers, whatever it is, hey, call us in. Hey, that number is 904-458-7558. And, hey, you can be our next caller. Oh, boy. Or the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Power wigs.
Oh boy, Byron, I hope for you it is warmer then. Yeah. It don't matter. Byron will do it if it's 35 degrees out.
Yes, I will. For that particular cause, I will do that.
Renee, it's open. Why don't you dial it? She says, I was dialing, but Archie beat me to it. Would have donated the GC to you because you're looking a bit hungry there, David. God, I know it, but that's pretty funny. Golly, man, I gotta laugh at that myself.
He shouldn't be at the pizza he ate earlier.
Yeah, the pizza. Yeah, if you'd have seen that, Renee, you'd have went, my goodness. Hey, but you can call in real quick. Lines open, 904-458-7558. I'd love to hear your voice. Call in, Renee. Got a couple of little quick things I want to get to. The girls' basketball tournament is going on. Eastside is playing Keystone tonight. Dunellen's playing Santa Fe. Bradford's the number 2 seed. They got to bye Byron till tomorrow. So Bradford will play the winner of G4, which is that Dunellen Santa Fe game. And then North Marion's the number 1 seed. They'll play the winner of Eastside and Keystone. That's tomorrow at Tornado Alley.
Really?
Yep. First game is at 6, and Bradford will play at 7:30. And then the championship will be Friday, where the winners will play to find out who the district championship is. Right now, man, Bradford sports right now, guys, is really headstrong right now. A lot of things going on. Speaking of that, I didn't tell y'all, unless y'all seen it already. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Hey, who do we got on the air?
You got your own local meteorologist, Austin's Weather Service.
Austin's Weather Service. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Austin Stevens. How you doing, Austin?
I'm doing good. Just being Mr. Moderation Peanut Gallery in the comments and making sure quality's good. Quality control is 100%. Perfect.
How's it looking, by the way?
Oh, y'all are looking great. Graphics are running good. Michael's little intro to Mitchell and Mr. man bun over there. Oh, it was perfect.
You are known as the man, but you are a popular dude in Bradford County, son. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Gordon needs to give him the man bun award.
Hey,
Y'all
I know
something
when
with
I
this
come back
man
to the
bun,
studio, Byron's gonna be mad.
hey, hang on just a minute, Austin. I've got to
Austin,
read
I'm
it.
not going to get mad at y'all for picking on
No,
me.
man.
I'm
Byron
fine.
loves it, man. Hey, that's the
fine.
way it is.
Roll with the flow, man.
That's
It's
it.
all right, but I'm not wearing that.
Yeah.
Hey, Austin, hang on just a second. I want to read a really good comment here. Thank you, guys. Y'all are all great the way y'all make a little boy feel 2 days a week. He thanks you three is his world. He asks to watch every day. He loves you guys, so thank you, guys. Bradford loves y'all all.
Thank you, Alvy.
Thank you, Albie. Thank you, Tammy. That's very nice for you to say. So, Renee Stegall cannot win, can she? She says, "Doll, but got your voicemail." Austin cut in on me.
I was about to say, as soon as Austin gets off callback, we'd love to talk to him.
Oh, MBB. Yeah.
Oh, Renee, you can torture me in Messenger. I'll appreciate it. I'll give you a weather report. Get you free.
See, now you've got Donald Stevens doing it.
Yeah, now we got Donald Stevens doing it. Yeah.
Y'all military officers, military members.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Austin, what you got for us, brother? We're going to try to get Renee on so we can wrap the show up. What you got?
I got you a freeze warning from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. A wind chill advisory for the coast of the Atlantic coast for wind chill values as low as 24. Freeze warning will more than likely be issued Wednesday night into Friday morning, or not Friday morning, Thursday morning, from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. and temperatures will rise to near 70 by Friday, then fall back to the 60s, like Peter said. And thank you, Michael, for serving and covering for me while I don't want to be out in the cold, but also had to take care of some other stuff.
Well, Austin, go ahead and fire yourself.
Oh, well,
Nobody's safe tonight, Austin.
Nobody's safe tonight, Austin. I love you, man.
They didn't start on Mitchell over here again or something. I don't know.
Hey.
I mean, I'm 18. I'm not 68.
There you go. Ooh. Yeah, really go ahead and fire yourself now, Austin. We love you, Austin. Thank you for calling in. We're going to try to get Renee on real quick. Thank you, Austin.
Good night, Austin.
Thank you for the weather.
You're welcome.
All right.
You're welcome. Bye.
With love, Byron. All right, Renee, you can call in. Call on in. Phone line's wide open. So, hey, I want to, Byron making a mullet.
No.
Man bun is trending worldwide.
Okay.
I've got to wrap
There
this
are two hairstyles that you will never see on me.
Yeah.
One is a man bun.
Yeah.
And the other one is a mullet.
Okay.
I had people saying when
Well,
I
I've
put my
got the
hair back
mullet.
that I had a mullet, and I was like, no, this is not a mullet. Give me just a second, I'll show you. It is not a mullet.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Here we go.
Renee Stegall Shaw. Renee, how are you, beautiful?
Here I am.
Here you are. How's it going, Renee?
It's going pretty good.
Is it? How's it going in the old hometown?
Oh, well, it's always one thing after another. I try to stay out of politics, but the thing I'm wondering about is, are we ever going to be able to have this dadgum class reunion?
Well, that's a good question that you asked. Me and Byron has always talked about that. We're looking forward to coming down. Hey, Renee, what's the talk down there about that? Speaking of that reunion, what are the old classmates saying?
Well, not a whole lot. The class page has been pretty quiet, save a couple of deaths we've had and, some of our classmates. But I know that the girls that were collecting everybody's fee for it, they're just holding that money in the account, and it's going to carry over to whenever we do it.
Right. So are you looking maybe something this year, Renee? Is there any talk of that? Maybe something in the summertime? I know the class of 1981 got a hold of me and probably got a hold of a couple of you guys wanting to do it together.
Yeah, they were wanting to combine it, and, just because of numbers dwindling and so forth, everybody moves away and stuff like that. But, no, there hadn't, the class page has been really quiet, save that other stuff, and nobody has said anything. None of the organizers have put any word out about trying to reorganize it or anything. So I just wanted to bring that up and let you know we can still do if you want to do a live show from the museum, we can probably arrange that while you're here.
Oh, that would be awesome. I'll tell you what, we don't even have to wait for the reunion, Renee. Let's me and you get together. Let's see when we can figure out when we can make a road trip. Like to be a Saturday show, of course, so we can come over the weekend. And let's see who we can get, and we'll promote it that way. And we'll have some of the old classmates come out, and we'll introduce them to everybody. That would be great. And we'll come up with some topics to discuss over there. That's for sure.
Sure.
All right. Well, we recently hired a museum director. We've got her on board now. She come to us from Gulf Quest Museum in Mobile, and she's also worked at, I can't call the name of it, but she's from the New England area, and she worked at, Mystic Seaport Museum up in Connecticut or someplace like that. All them little New England states run together for me. But she's on the ball. She knows what she's doing. She's about our age, and she lives in Mobile now with a daughter that lives in New Orleans, and so she's coast-wide down here, as they say.
Well, let's set something up for late spring, early summer. Can we do that?
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. Shoot me some dates, and I'll run them past our director, and we'll see if we can get us some online activity.
All right, that sounds great. We would love that. We would love to come down, absolutely, and see the old town, show you around a little bit. You can show us around. Renee, it's been a little bit since I've been here. I'm sure a lot of things have changed.
Oh, and are changing as we speak.
Oh, my goodness, I tell you.
There's a lot of things going on. Some of the downtown places, you remember where the old firehouse used to be, and it became Scranton's Restaurant? The upstairs has been turned into 4 apartments that they're getting ready to lease, and there's some other buildings downtown that the Oddfellows Hall is also changing its structure into some apartments, and I just can't, that's all well and good. I'm glad to see downtown developing, but I can't imagine who wants to live right next door to the railroad track. You know what I'm saying?
Me neither. They can have that. we know about the railroad track over here, the downtown grill, and Byron used to live by the railroad track.
Right on top of it.
Right on top of it.
And we live right across the street from my grandmother.
Yeah.
I do have a question. If we do this, Renee, David keeps on talking about this church where the squirrel went berserk that he used to visit all the time when he was a kid. Can we go see that?
Yeah. Can you go there?
Can you go see it? Of course.
Well, I can't imagine why you couldn't go there, but I can't guarantee you're gonna see any squirrels running around there. They got a screening process now, you know.
So they I'm sorry, Renee. I had to. I'm sorry.
He had to.
Of course, half of the viewers don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they don't.
It's that old Ray Stevens song.
Yes, it is.
In the First Self-Righteous Church, and I'm not going to call any kettles, you know what I'm saying, because the good Lord don't like that, but I think Ray named that song real well and called it like he saw it.
Hey, Renee, can you stand by on the line? Got a little something I want to bring up for you, if that's okay. Hey, you're still watching, right? Yeah, could you bring that up, bring up that beautiful beam footage? Oh! Oh, there it is! There he is, our famous and our very own Mr. Byron Bagwell. Back in 1988.
That is not a man bun, by the way.
What is
That's a man bun
wig.
That is a Japanese hairdo that samurais used to wear.
Oh, yeah.
Renee, are you watching that?
and available on Amazon, being delivered just for you.
Jesus Lord.
And guess what, Byron?
My video's lagging a little bit behind what y'all are saying,
I'll wear that.
Yeah.
Hey, Renee.
It's got to be a Japanese katana.
Renee,
can't be
he will even autograph that for you. Byron Bagwell will autograph that for you.
I'd put better money on him using them swords on you if you don't quit messing with him.
Well, that's probably true, too. There's no doubt about it. Oh, look at this, man. Yeah. Well, go back to the other picture, Dave. Byron, I don't know, man. I think I like that picture better. What do you think? Renee, what do you think?
Man, you are going to make me say something about that picture on air, and it's going to get all of us in so much trouble.
You talking about the one you were showing? Yeah, who is that guy?
Not
really?
that one,
I think I recognize him, but
You recognize him?
no, not exactly. But he's got to be some, model or actor.
He's got to be.
I don't know.
To tell you the honest truth, I think he's a soccer player, but I'm not.
Yeah,
sure.
you may be right.
Okay,
Byron.
okay.
Yeah, you may be right.
Yeah,
Well, Renee, I tell you what. Hey, hook us up. I'll shoot you some dates. We'll take a look at a Saturday. Would be great for us. We'll make that old road trip over that way. Hey, where are we going to go eat? That's our main thing. You know, us boys like to eat.
Gotta have some seafood.
Oh, well.
Gotta have some seafood.
Look, do you remember Bozo's on Ingalls Avenue?
Yep.
Used to just be the bait shop, fish
Used to
market.
be the bait.
His son has taken over the business, and he built a restaurant right next door, and it's fantastic.
Seafood galore, right?
Yes.
All right. How about the old Tiki restaurant?
Oh, Tiki is still there. I think it's kind of. I haven't been there in quite a while.
Okay.
I believe the same family still owns it, but I think COVID has caused them to severely cut back their hours.
Okay.
And I couldn't say for sure right now if they're still open.
All right. I'll tell you what. We'll figure it out. Renee, thanks for calling in. I'll shoot you some dates. Thank you for watching. Tell all our old classmates to join in. Tell them to watch the show. They'd love it.
I sure will.
All right. Have a good night, Renee.
Good night, Renee.
Thanks, y'all too.
Good night. All right, guys. I tell you what, that was Renee there, my old classmate, getting digs in on me. So.
One last thing before we wrap up here, and hold off here. I need you to read Cassidy's comment.
Okay, Cassidy's comment right there. Cassidy says, I work with an elderly, vulnerable population, so I don't go out. And Thursdays are busy for me as a Jew working for a synagogue as the programming specialist preparing for Friday. But I have an AV set up. If y'all ever want to set something up that way, I'm happy to debate. Absolutely. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So
we can set her up.
We can set you up. FaceTime, yeah.
Something like that.
We can.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, Cassidy. Love it. Shirley says, what's wrong with living by the railroad, Byron?
Had nothing after you lived by it for as long as you've
lived by it. And Shirley Bagwell says, I didn't post that. All right. Good night, guys. School tomorrow. Hope to see y'all at the fair. And we got some other things there, too. One quick thing I wanted to get into. You remember I told you Saturday night, if y'all were listening in, we had 2 girls qualify for state. Guess what? All 6 of them now are in for the state championship, baby. All of them made the pool. Takira Bakken, Brianna Jordan, Michaela Cooper, Gabby Oliver, Jessica Traylor, and Liberty Harahas. All of them are going to state, have a chance to pull off the state team trophy as well. And let me tell you, first time to go to state, 6 girls to go to state in BHS history ever. First time
ladies,
to win districts and regionals, and they can win the state. We got 2 girls that can possibly win state for sure, first place. And the other's place, we could bring that team trophy home too, and it'll just be a clean sweep.
It'd be nice.
We'll figure it out. We'll fit them all on the table. If we'll figure something, right, Mike? We'll figure something. So, guys, again, it's been a really great show tonight. Thanks for a great program. Stay tuned, folks, because here comes Final Thoughts.
Tonight's Final Thoughts with David Rodgers brought to you by Fun Point Food and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in beautiful Stark, Florida. Fun Point is an all-in-one arcade and restaurant that is bound to raise your spirits, are sure to please your taste buds, and the games will keep you entertained for hours. Fun Point Food and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in Stark. Feel free to give them a call at 904-966-3380. Make a point to visit Fun Point.
Welcome back to Final Thoughts. My name is David Rodgers, right along with Byron Bagwell, Mr. Mitchell Gunner, Mr. Michael Heater, Mr. Dave Holland. We've had a great show, a lot of interaction, a lot of things to talk about, a lot of great things going on, not only in our community, in the state, in the region. Sounds like my home state's having a pretty good deal. Got a lot of cold weather up north, as Michael said. Hey, hopefully that'll all get by. We'll start seeing some springtime weather, guys, and hopefully everybody will have a nice spring and a nice summer to come. Again, just final thoughts really quick. I want to thank my guys for the job that they do each and every week. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a easy thing to do. It looks easy. It may seem easy, but it's not. It takes a lot of work, a lot of preparation. Byron Mitchell, I definitely want to thank our producer, Dave Holland, for the job that he does each and every week. Hey, twice a week, because we do 2 shows. So he has to put the graphics and everything together. That lower thirds that you see, that just don't appear. You know what I mean? That is hand put in. So, Dave, I want to thank you for a wonderful job that you do. Absolutely. Also want to thank our director, Michael Heater. Michael Heater has a lot of input, a lot of the writings, a lot of the things that are going on, a lot of the breaking news. Michael gets it. He puts it out there for you guys. And I tell you, love the job that he does. So, give it up for Michael Heater. Ladies and gentlemen, these 2 guys right here, they are my brothers, just like these guys are as well. These 2 guys is what makes the show right here, guys. This guy right here to my right, hey, he knows the local stuff like the back of his hand. If I need to ask him something about a local thing, if he doesn't know the answer, David, I'll get it. How many times you tell me that?
A lot.
This guy right here, telling you, for a guy that does not have a degree in political science or any kind of thing like that, this guy knows politics, he knows government, he knows the Constitution. And I tell you what, Byron, you do a wonderful job, man.
Thanks, sir.
And I love you on this set with us. So I want to thank both of you guys and all of you guys for what we do right here. That's for sure. So,
and this is the man with the sports right here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Yep, the sports.
Drives the whole entire deal, too. So.
Yeah, I can draw it up for you if you need it.
Oh, I'm talking about the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, draw it up. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, it's all of us, and we just love doing it. So, but tomorrow night, guys, and I'm sorry, man, dadgummit, I know it. Maybe things will work out. Let's pray that it does. Maybe to catch the last half.
Wednesday night.
Yeah. Because tune in tomorrow night at 5 p.m. for a special broadcast featuring National Signing Day for Bradford High School. Well, for all over the country, but Bradford High School has 5 guys that are going to be signing letters of intent with one special guy. All of them are special. But we got a guy that's a 4-star player, number 1, Adante Balfour, had 35 or 36 official offers, narrowed it down to 3. LSU, Auburn, North Carolina. We will be bringing that to you live. So if you are a Bradford alum and you haven't seen a lot of the things that are going on with Bradford and Bradford sports and around it, we will be live at the auditorium tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, and you can watch these young men sign letter of intents. That's Adante Balfour, Sterling Roberts, Eric Smith, Pedro Carter, and Levante Daniels. We will bring all that to you. Hopefully some interviews, Mike, with not only the players, the coaches, and whoever else we can get, maybe the parents, whoever. Hopefully we can get those guys on. So tune in for that special tomorrow at 5 p.m. Guys, again, thank you for the wonderful job that you do. Great show tonight. As we wrap up tonight, I want to thank our sponsors and everyone who tuned in. And remember, we're on the spot, so you can be too. Good night, everybody. God bless you. Have a great week. Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock.
Hey, Tornado fans. This is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida and David Hurst Stadium. And thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!